Hello students, this is Anita Raut, lecturer in English, Nalanda Vidya Mandir, Berhampur. Today, I am going to teach you about the first topic of your prose, standing up for yourself. It was written by Evgeny Alexandrovich Evtushenko. He was a renowned Russian poet, novelist, dramatist, essayist, screenwriter, actor, editor, and a director of films. He is a versatile character. He was born in a remote town in 1933 in a peasant family. His father, Alexander Rudolfovich Gamnas, was a geologist. His mother, Zinaida Nalanda Evtushenko, was also a geologist. After some days, she resigned from her job and became a singer. He published his first poem in 1949. In 1952, he published his first book of poems, The Prospects of the Future. Standing up for yourself is an outstanding representation of the writer. It is also a delightful and instructive presentation of the writer's childhood bitter experience. At the age when a child is to be cherished under the love and affection, care and share, hopes and aspirations of his parents, but he was thrown away to the street. He was enforced to undergo in a disappointing environment. His parents were divorced and they left him to the street. They forgot all the duties and responsibilities towards his own son. Carelessness and insecurity made the writer's life miserable and deserted. His upbringing and education led to the street. He learnt every type of bad things like smoking, spitting, rebuking, beating, all types of bad things he learnt from the street. Initially, he was failure in his life due to his own cowardice. But in his later life, he was succeeded over the triumphant ruler of the street red. It was only possible for the Japanese textbook Jiu-Jitsu. He got all the advantages and techniques from this book, and he knew that how to defeat the stronger version. This topic, standing up for yourself, preaches or announces to get ever ready to face the odds and absurdities of life. It learns the weakest to stand up courageously against any adverse situation in their life. Okay, let us come to the text. In 1941. In 41 means in 1941, I was living alone in an empty flat in a quiet Moscow street. When he was a child in 1941, he was living in a calm and quiet Moscow street. My parents were divorced. His parents were divorced. Divorced means separated, legally separated. Divorced means legally separated. Flat means set of rooms on one floor. Set of rooms on one floor. My parents were divorced. His parents were legally separated. And my father was somewhere in Kazakhstan with his new wife and their 2 children. His father was living with his new wife and his 2 children in Kazakhstan. I seldom received letters from him. Seldom means rare. Seldom means rare. I seldom received letters from him. It means he rarely received letters from his father. My mother was at the front. Front means place where 2 armies are fighting in a war. Front means place where 2 armies are fighting. 2 armies are fighting in a war. My mother was at the front. It means his mother was just like in a battlefield. His mother was in difficulty due to his separation, due to their separation. She had given up her work as a geologist to become a singer. To become a singer, she had resigned his job as a geologist. He resigned from her job and joined in a music party and was giving concerts for the troupe. Concerts means melody. Concerts means melody. And troop means group of soldiers. Troops means group of soldiers. And was giving concerts for the troops. And she was giving or she was singing for the soldiers. She resigned from her job and giving concerts for the soldiers. My education was left to the street. Due to their separation, due to their divorce, the writer's life was left to the street. The street taught me to sweat, smoke, spit elegantly through my teeth. languages, use offensive languages, speed means to evacuate. To evacuate. Evacuate means withdraw or leave. L-E-A-V-E. Leave or withdraw. Saliva. To evacuate saliva or other substances or other substances or other substance from the mouth. Other substance from the mouth. Elegantly means in a stylish way or gently. Elegantly means gently or in a stylish way. The street taught me to swear, smoke, spit elegantly through my teeth. The street taught him how to smoke, how to talk offensive languages to others, and spit elegantly through his mouth, through his teeth, and to keep my fist at the ready. And he always kept his fist always ready for the other people. Fist means hand with the fingers. Hand with the fingers. Hand with the fingers called inward. Called inward. Called inward. And to keep my fist at the ready. The street also learnt him how to ready his fist for others. A habit which I have to this day. In these days, he was always ready to smoke, to swear, to spit, and he always kept his fist ready to revenge from others. The street taught me not to be afraid of anything or anyone. And the street also taught him not to be afraid of anyone or anything else in the world, in every situation or in every condition. He didn't care for others. He didn't fear of others. He did not afraid of others. This is another habit I have kept. This is the another habit the writer had kept. This is the second habit. And the first habit of the writer was how to smoke, how to spit, how to beat. And the second habit was not to be afraid of anything or anyone in any situation or any condition. These are two habits of the writer. I realized that what mattered in the struggle for life was to overcome my fear of those who were stronger. He had one aim: to overcome the fear over the triumphant, over the stronger people. He had one aim: to overcome all type of fearness of him. Once again, I realized that what method means resulted, method means resulted. He did not know what was the result, but his aim was to overcome his fearness over the stronger. Next, come to the unit 2. In unit 2, the writer wants to express about his fearness towards the powerful leader of the street red. How he overcome his fearness over red. The ruler of our street was a boy of about 16 who was nicknamed Red. The ruler of our street, the ruler of the writer's area was Red. His nickname was Red, who was 16 years old. It means Red was 16 years old. He was the ruler of the writer's street, of the writer's area. Red was big and broad-shouldered beyond his years. Actually, Red was 16 years old, but he was seen like 20 years or 25 years old due to his broad shoulder. He was looked like an aged person. Okay. Red walked masterfully. Masterfully means arrogantly or proudly. Masterfully. Masterfully means arrogantly or proudly. Or proudly. Red walked masterfully up and down our street. Red walked arrogantly, proudly in his street, in the writer's street or in the writer's area. Legs wide and with a slightly rolling gait. Rolling means a side to side. Rolling means a side to side movement. Gait means manner of walking. Gait means manner of walking. The Red walked masterfully up and down our street, legs wide and with a slightly rolling gait. Red walked masterfully means Red walked arrogantly, just like a gangster who didn't care others. And his walking style was something different, like a leader, like a gangster, like a seaman on his deck. Seaman means sailor. Seaman means sailor. And deck means floor of the ship. Deck means floor of the ship. As a sailor, he was most powerful of the ship. Like a seaman on his deck or on the ship, a sailor is the most powerful. Just like that, Red felt proudly, just like a seaman on the deck. Like a sailor, Red walked masterfully or arrogantly in the street or in the writer's area. He felt that he was most powerful, he was a leader, he was a gangster in this area. He didn't care to others. He felt that he was all in this street. Okay? From under his cap, its peak always at the back of his head. Peak means top. Peak means top. From under his cap, its peak always at the back of his head. Red always put on his cap from back to front and front to back. He kept his front side to the back and back side to the front side. His forelock tumbled down. His forelock means hair growing above the forehead. Hair growing above the forehead. And tumble down means hung, hang, hung or fell, fairy cascade. Fairy means furious, and cascade means waterfall. From under his cap, its peak always at the back of his head. His forelock tumbled down. Forelock means hair growing above the forehead. Tumbled down in a fairy cascade. Just like a waterfall. It was flowing from top to bottom. Just like the hair of Red. It was hanged. His hair was hanging from top to bottom, from his forehead to forehead to the face. It was just like a furious waterfall of red. It was just like his hair was just like a furious waterfall. Once again, his forelock tumbled down in a fiery cascade, just like the waterfall, which was furiously flowing from top to bottom. Here the writer compares the hair of red, which was hung from his forehead to his face. It was just like a furious waterfall. It was a furious look for red. And out of his round pockmarked face, green eyes like a cat's sparkled with scorn for everything and everyone. Pockmarked means a mark caused by chicken pox or chicken pox or acne. Sparkle means swine. Scorn means hate or bitterness. And out of his round pockmarked face, his face looked like a pockmarked face due to chickenpox or acne spots. He had green eyes like a cat, sparkled with scorn, which were shining with scorn for everything and everyone. He had a hatredness or humiliation towards everything and everyone. Once again, and out of his round pockmarked face, he had a pockmarked face, he had green eyes like a cat which was shining. His eyes were shining, and he had hatredness or humiliation towards everyone and everything. He hated every person. It means red hatred every person. 2 or 3 lieutenants in pigged caps back to front like reds. Like red. His other 2 or 3 lieutenants followed him. They also put on their caps from back to front and front to back. Tripped at his heels. Tripped means followed. Tripped means followed. And heels means steps. The lieutenants of red also put on their caps like red, and they followed the steps of red. Okay? Red could stop any boy and say impressively the one word money. Impressively means cheerfully. Impressively means cheerfully. Red stopped any boy and cheerfully said him, money, money. His lieutenants would turn out the boy's pockets. Turn out means search. Turn out means search. Registered means protected. His lieutenants would turn out the boy's pockets. Red stopped any boy and cheerfully said him, money, money. And the followers of Red searched his pocket. And if he resisted, if the boy protected, they beat him up hard. Beat him up hard means beat mercilessly. Beat up hard means beat mercilessly, carelessly. Beat mercilessly or carelessly. When the boy resisted the lieutenants and Red, they beat him carelessly and mercilessly. Everyone was afraid of Red. Everyone of this area afraid of Red. And so was I. So I was also, or the writer was also afraid of Red. I knew he carried a heavy metal knuckle duster in his pocket. Knuckle duster means metal covering for the knuckles, for attack or defense, metal covering for the knuckles for attack or defense. I knew he carried a heavy metal knuckle duster in his pocket. The writer knew that Red carried a heavy metal knuckle duster in his pocket. So, all the people in his street afraid of him, and the writer also afraid of him. Though he knew all types of bad things like spitting, smoking, beating, but he afraid of Red. This is for today. I think you understand everything, the unit 1 and the unit 2. Okay. In my next class, I will discuss the unit 3 and 4 of the first topic of your prose, standing up for yourself, written by Evgeny Alexandrovich Evtushenko. Okay.